Time out.
So, what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table.
I mean, come on, what are you going to be doing? Building it in mid-air? Dude, it's a desktop, so you need a desk. How's it going, folks? Jack here with another reaction. So the other day, after uploading a video on some tech bros, I have gotten some suggestion to check out an old video, or at least 4 years old, a supposed certified hood classic. And this one is stemming straight from The Verge, which I like to classify it as a BuzzFeed if they were dabbling in a little bit of tech once in a while. Now, this is called The Verge $2,000 PC build reaction supercard. And from the thumbnail I can see here, I can recognize a bunch of faces, and I guess it's bad. I guess it's really bad. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into whatever this is.
There is a video that a lot of people have been sharing
Screenwave,
in my
yeah.
Discord.
I kept getting notifications over and over and over to review this thing before it gets taken down.
On September the 13th of this year, The Verge published a video on YouTube.
This is a notoriously bad video, apparently. I haven't watched it yet.
Apparently it was like a total fucking shit show.
How we built $2,000 gaming PC.
But I've been told it is extremely...
That's a voice I haven't heard in a while. He's oh, bloody hell, from Bitwit? Yeah, he used to make those accents there. Oh boy, this is taking me back a little bit.
bad, and it's full of things that you just shouldn't do when building a gaming PC.
At first, I admit, I thought it was satire.
So a few years ago, TC, or managing editor,
Hi, Stefan. You probably shouldn't have included your Twitter handle here, because I imagine you're just going to get absolutely flamed from the internet.
You can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000.
Which is
Or
true.
less.
Well, yeah.
Or way less than that. You can definitely build for way less. Like a usual rule that I have, or at least a recommendation that I give to people who want to get into gaming, is that if you're not planning on doing anything crazy and are just going to be playing titles like I guess most people will do, since I have Yahoo Mail.
You what?
Yeah, I do, and I barely check that stuff. There was this thing that I got to see an article from Kotaku saying that about 60% of gamers, I guess, at least the playtime for last year, was dedicated on old titles only. So it makes perfect sense, with the top 10, of course, being the dedicated ones that we've seen over the many years, the GTA 5, the Roblox, the Fortnite, and all that stuff. You can definitely build a PC that accommodate those games with hardware that are like 10 years old. So that will cut you down the cost from like a third or even less than that.
You can build a gaming desktop for around $1,000 or $350
Or $100.
$250 or $200 or $175 or $150 or sometimes even $100. But yeah, sure, $1,000.
I want to go all out, so I spent around $2,000.
$2,000 is a
like
decent
this
chunk
gonna
of
be
change
able
for a
to play
gaming
most
PC.
Games. So, what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table. Preferably not metal.
Hold on, time out. Time out.
So, what do you need to build a desktop? Well, of course, first you need a table.
I mean, come on, what are you going to be doing? Building it in mid-air? Dude, it's a desktop, so you need a desk.
First, you need a table. Preferably
Oh,
not.
you need a table to build a PC. I thought you could build it in mid-air.
You cannot build this on the floor. So step 1, you need a table. Step 2, you better have 2 hands. And they better have 10 digits.
Like, that's just common sense. You're going to need a working surface area to build a computer. That's just...
Brother.
Why even say that?
Have an anti-static working surface layered on top of it, a thermal paste applicator, and
What? A thermal paste applicator? What the heck is that?
I'm sorry, mate. I've never seen a thermal paste.
Do I have one here?
Look, I went down to try and see if I could find one of those small spoons that my daughter tend to eat yogurt with. Like, it literally looks like that for toddlers. There's no such thing.
Does anybody ever actually use a thermal paste applicator?
an Allen wrench.
That's...
Why is he recommending an Allen wrench?
I have never used an Allen wrench to build a computer ever, and I've built about 30 computers now.
Unless he used that Allen wrench to put together the table.
Some tweezers to tighten up the wires.
Hold on, did he just say tweezers? Those are zip ties.
Zip
How is that
ties,
thing?
mate.
Is my English better than his?
This is not turning out good already.
Bro, and he just has them laying loose like that. Look here. In my years of assembling PCs, that's more than a decade now, I've made use of this thing here. It's still not empty. This has lasted me more than 12 years. Like, bro.
A Swiss Army knife, which hopefully has a
Sweet. Oh no.
A Swiss Army knife
Carajo.
hopefully has a Phillips head screwdriver in it.
Hopefully.
No.
Wouldn't you make sure that you have the tools necessary before you start the build?
This is a sponsored video.
Why does your office with so many dozen PCs and so many dozen tech employees not have one of these?
And last but not
Magnetized
least, an
one.
anti-static bracelet, which is to protect you
Okay, that's
and
true.
the parts. These are the parts you're going to need, but more importantly, before we get...
Hold on.
Okay, no, I understand why this video is so popular. This hurts to watch. Dude, it's got... This has more anti-static. No, actually, no, it's metal in the bottom there, so... Dude, no! No! It just has a random rubber band.
That's not an anti-static bracelet at all. There's no ground wire coming off of it. He's not connected to anything. That looks like the bracelet I'm wearing.
What? It's not a wireless wristband. That's a Riv Strong bracelet. He not fighting static. He fighting cancer.
That's not gonna work at all. Don't listen to this person. This is really bad so far.
We have a lot of boxes and a lot of PC parts, so it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you really need. So it's best you unbox them, isolate the parts that you...
What? Why did he destroy the box? Dude, you have a knife right there, man.
Thermal paste applicator. Okay, look. As I've mentioned, it's a sponsored video. How do you do this? Why have you selected some poor dude who has seemingly zero knowledge of the process of making these, assembling these PCs together to do this? Who thought that this was a great idea?
Isolate the parts that you...
What? Why did he destroy the box? Dude, you have a knife right there, man.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
And screw in with confidence, but also don't screw in too hard, otherwise...
Screw in with confidence. I like his style.
Oh, at least he put the posts in. He didn't tell... It's a tutorial. They didn't tell you to put the posts in, but luckily he already did it, and you just have to figure it out on your own.
I chose Asus's Z37
Asus?
for two main reasons. One, it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and also it has...
Just don't need...
Don't buy a motherboard just because it has built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
And also
Yeah,
it has
it's gonna
support for
tell.
NVMe SSD.
Okay, this is just a nitpick, okay? I would personally never do this. Assemble the whole thing on your motherboard first, from CPU to, of course, your cooler, for some, okay? I have a block cooler, I don't have a water cooler, so I actually can do the process before installing it onto the PC. Actually, I should get a water cooler just for the sake of recording, because sometimes I can catch some fan noises if I'm playing games. But never, I'm getting on a tangent here. Assemble as much as you can on the thing.
Okay, I want to stop it there because why is he installing the motherboard straight into the chassis? I'd install as much as I physically could onto the motherboard first. So you're talking the processor, thermal paste,
graphics
cooler
card.
if it will allow it. Obviously, if you're using an AIO, it's a different story or custom loop. But if it's an air cooler, you can bolt that on there. M.2 drive, so that could be SATA or NVMe, and memory as well. So basically, try and build as much as you can onto the motherboard. So when you do transfer it to the case, it's just generally easier.
Attention to the brace that goes at the brace that the brace that goes the brace that the brace the brace.
It's an IO shield, dude.
The brace that goes at the
remix.
The brace?
Oh my.
Did he seriously just called an IO shield plate a brace?
You always have to make sure that you really hammer it in because there's no screw.
Do not hammer it in.
Don't
Please
hammer
do not hammer
anything
it. Why
on a
did he say
PC,
hammer it in?
please.
Secondly, It's pretty fast RAM. It's 2,666 megahertz.
2600.
That's not that fast for DDR4 memory. That is very, very slow. 2666 is not that fast.
I can run at 3200 megahertz.
That would be classified as really fast on DDR3.
Yeah.
But for DDR4, not so much.
Okay, I don't know why he's opening all 4 DIMM slots. He only has 2 sticks of RAM. He's putting this in wrong.
No. Don't tell me that he doesn't also know about dual channel.
Already. There's the little notch right there, and there is the hole. You could tell right now this is not lined up. He's already putting it in upside down. He's not going to be able to snap this in.
And just lining that up with the logo.
Oh, they cut away.
What does he have?
They cut away because he was putting it in wrong.
So once you hear that solid clasp and you don't
Click.
see...
You mean click? It's not a clasp.
Now he's in slot 4.
Wait, that's a Kingston Vengeance LED. 2600. Dude, did you... What does this... Okay, look. I have, I think, 3600 megahertz on mine. And that's like decent, okay? And that's DDR4. I refuse to go to DDR5 and get like the new graphics cards just yet. But, dude, currently, for the new gen stuff, you get like 8,000 megahertz. That's clearly overkill, but like, this is not fast, even for 2018 or so standards.
Who edited this?
I mean, I tell you, I'm definitely editing my video down so I don't sound stupid.
Step 3, we're going to install...
Hold on. What is that?
Hold up.
What is this right here?
What do you guys see wrong?
He installed the memory incorrect.
Oh no, he installed the memory wrong.
I knew it.
Side by side, they should be spaced out for that motherboard. I look at the manual. That's the wrong way.
So rip dual channel support on his motherboard if he's going to run his RAM like that.
That's only going to read 8 gigs. That's not going to read 16.
It literally says so on the motherboard. And even some people go so far as to add them onto the box of your RAM. How do you miss that? Oh no! Why The Verge?
Because one of them's installed incorrectly.
Speaking of the memory, I wish I could erase this one.
You can always upgrade this and swap it out, and it's only held down by one screw and the latch, so it's really simple.
Okay, so he mentions it's only held down by a screw and a latch, but then looking at it, he hasn't actually put the standoff, and it looks like he's screwing the NVMe drive directly onto the motherboard. So generally you'd get these with your motherboard, which is a tiny little standoff and a little screw that just kind of brings up the M.2 drive so that it's in line. He's screwing it down onto the motherboard like, oh. Is this computer even gonna work?
Now, which lane you choose depends entirely on what other parts you're going to put in the system. I'm just going to pick the top one.
Absolutely wrong. He's absolutely wrong there. Obviously, you pick the top one because that one has the most bandwidth.
I'm just going to pick the top one because the SSD is at the bottom and I don't want to cover it. I just think it looks nice. Make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads. So
they're not insulating pads, they're anti-vibration pads.
Insulate
what are you
from what?
insulating against?
So the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the...
Wow. I am at a loss of word.
Rest of the system.
What?
So,
Whoa! Hold the phone.
If it
That
shows,
is so dumb.
You are actually an idiot.
I'm going. I've had enough.
he signed off.
So we have a 120 volt outlet, and then we have our power supply. Oh no! 120 volts, I'm touching the case. There's 120 volts going through my body right now. But what happens if we take that nice little thing? Nothing. Because if we go into continuity, it's grounded.
Oh my
it's
God.
Almost as if the people developing electrical
Already
standards
knew about
knew
this.
what the heck they're doing.
It's a good thing he has What Would Jesus Do bracelet.
so just take it in.
Jesus, take the wheel. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at the guy, okay? He clearly does not know what he's doing. Most likely an intern that's just been hired there to present whatever. But holy shit. again, you are like what, a 2 million or so subscribed channel? Hold on, let me see. The Verge. 3.3 million subscribers they have, okay? Most certainly less than that a few years ago, perhaps 2. How do you not write a script, okay? It's not like a reaction like myself right here where I can say things that are out of pocket and then perhaps if it gets too crazy, I may cut it off. But like, literally, you have a script that you can write with each and every component and just have him read it out loud. One thing is doing the wrong things, which you can edit in post, and another is straight up... Oh my god. This is the worst thing that I've ever seen.
Slide it in nice and easy until
What?
you have a snug fit, and then shift it
What?
to the back and make sure it's right up against the front.
What's wrong here?
Oh my god, he's putting the fan towards the back of the case. He's gonna suffocate airflow on it. Oh no.
If you want this PC to actually last and not burn itself the fuck up,
This is potentially a fire hazard.
You should never do that. Never, ever, like, block the fan.
What the case is designed for is that the power supply should be phasing outward, or the fan should be phasing outward so it could pull air in.
this guy's gonna be replacing the power supply in a few months, and he's gonna be like, holy crap, why is this thing dead already?
Always be sure to try to place
Hold on.
I could see through this.
I can see the table through the fins of the radiator. He does not have fans on that.
Why are there no fans on the radiator? So he's just gonna fry his CPU too.
He also doesn't have the plastic cover on this. That has thermal paste on it. If that thing happens to tilt or anything else, he's just gonna smear thermal paste everywhere. Possibly get it dirty.
There's nothing special about this screwing in process. They're just really long screws because they go through the entire frame.
No! Oh, I'm fucking about to explode. I'm going to send this to a friend of mine who's a hardware engineer, just to troll him, because no, this is so infuriating. What the fuck are you doing, mate?
And they take forever.
You know why they're really long screws? Is because you're supposed to put the fans on and then screw the fans on with those screws. That's why they're long.
Because the fans are this thick and the screws go through the fans into the radiator to mount them to the radiator.
He should use the small one. He going to drill holes into the heatsink of the radiator.
And that fluid's gonna go everywhere.
Okay, he's probably broken his all-in-one now.
I doubt this PC is gonna last very long.
My family in China who made this product cringing so hard right now.
Every power supply is going to come with a big bag of Velcro cables.
Okay, every power supply is going to come with a big bag of cables. It's not going to, not every
only if they are detachable.
Power supply, because not every power supply is modular. You have modular power supplies, semi-modular, and then just normal straight cables. So that's a bit of a misleading statement.
Typically, you want to put the cables in the power supply first. Some cases, very difficult to put it in after the fact.
Oh dear. Considering you've fucked up everything so far, I have no faith in you putting the CPU properly in its socket.
Why the hell is the CPU not installed at this point?
A Core i7 hexa-core CPU. Yeah, we've got one, and it's...
Now, I don't know why he wanted to make it sound badass here, but... Keep cooking. Yourself.
An 8th generation chip.
Yeah,
and
we got one. Super exclusive. You can only buy it on every major retailer in the world.
And it supports overclocking. So what
I swear to God, you better not overclock
installer
it.
does, we're just going to take this little plastic part.
No. Okay. If anybody has ever assembled a PC, I know that some people have done that in the past. Sorry for freaking out there, but I've seen people fuck it up so bad when they remove that plastic thing. You have a latch that you can simply pull back and let your CPU sit in there. Once you close it, the latch and the plastic cover peels off on its own. These things are made idiot-proof. Unless you were building a PC back in the early 2000s, okay? Past the 2010s, you should not be able to make an error like this.
Oh, don't do that. No, you need that.
What the heck did he just do? He goes like, Last Jedi level.
Motherboard manufacturers actually require you to have that the plastic cover for the socket, the CPU socket. If you plan on RMAing that motherboard, if there's a problem with it and you plan on sending it back to the manufacturer to get fixed, they need that plastic cover. They will not accept an RMA process or request if you don't have that cover. So don't throw that away. Always keep that.
And also, you do not just pull it out of the socket. It pops out after you put your CPU in, which you would know if you would have already put your CPU in before all of this garbage that you did on your case.
And we're going to use the CPU applicator. This is a special part that
I've
not
never
everyone
seen
may
that.
get, but this motherboard.
I have never seen that in my life.
No.
What the fuck is a CPU applicator?
Oh no, he's gonna. Oh my god. You're barely supposed to be holding it this long for means of either smearing it with your grubby fingers, adding grease to it, or bending some pins. Literally, take it out of the package, let it slip right onto its place in accordance with the triangle. Dude, the fucking logo is a triangle. They should be able to figure this out.
I have never seen a bracket for the CPU to be held on so you can install it properly.
It's called a CPU installation tool. It makes it really
You don't need
useful.
that.
So what having this little installer does for you is it's basically a brace that you can apply.
Yeah, you don't
right
need
to the
that.
CPU. And this will make it easier for us to apply it to
you
the
don't
motherboard
need that.
and make sure that everything lines up, and we're going to clasp down on it and we'll be good.
The holder's right here.
You took the
And
tool
we'll
off
clasp
and you
down
threw
on
it to the
and we'll be
side.
good.
Why did he spend all that time talking to us about that CPU holder thingy if he didn't even
I
use
give
it?
up.
He knows he didn't need it.
I
Now
fucking
he
give
can't
up.
Delete everything he said because the editor is someone else.
I fucking give up. And he is using his phone light. They have a studio with a main light here for you to record. They could, if they're doing it right, open freaking a window and not build in the fucking dark. I've never been this upset about something in 2024 so far. Thank you for the recommendation. Subscriber. This is a great way to start the weekend.
So we're about to apply thermal paste to the CPU.
Why are we about to apply thermal paste to the CPU? I'm looking in the AIO, like typically AIOs come with like a small amount of thermal paste already pre-applied.
Every CPU cooler actually comes with a bit of thermal paste already neatly applied, and
Not every CPU cooler.
it's good, essentially PC building practice to have a little bit extra and layer it on top of the CPU.
No.
What he do? It's a CPU. You're not icing a cake.
By the looks of it, where I've paused, he looks like he's adding more thermal paste to the CPU and then he's going to put what's already on the cooler on top, which that's a big no-no. Don't do that. That's awful. What you should do is use a pea-sized drop of thermal paste in the middle of the IHS, which is that like metal square on the CPU. Integrated heat spreader, as it's called. That's more than enough, is a pea-sized blob of thermal paste in the middle. Once you make the contact with the CPU cooler, that will actually spread out when you go to put pressure from the cooler on top of the CPU. So don't do this.
If they left this PC as is, it would probably be dead in a week.
So you're gonna see that.
Oh my God, what is that? What is this application process? What is that?
So you're gonna see that there are.
Oh my god!
So you're gonna see that there are 4 brackets.
You heard it?
It's like someone threw up thermal paste onto his processor.
It literally looks like a bird of shit all over the processor.
Imagine a ketchup packet slowly being ran over.
He went all bukkake up in that thermal paste.
You had a thermal paste spreader. Use the fucking thing. What is that?
Dude, I can't even make fun of this guy anymore. He's actually like messed up like almost everything.
Oh, if this computer posts, it'll be a freaking miracle.
And they're going to keep the
No,
cooler
they're not
raised off the
brackets.
processor, but it's also going to be close enough to actually physically come in contact with it.
Oh no, it's so cluttered.
They're going to keep the cooler off the processor, but it's going to be close enough to make physical contact.
Take thumb screws like this and just screw them on.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Woo, The Verge. I dislike your editing style so much. He said do it like this, and it's a wide shot. I can't even see what he's doing.
So now that our internals are done, we're gonna put all the panels back.
They're done.
The top glass, side glass, front glass, and of course the back panel where all of
Oh,
this
thank God it's done.
So we fully built the
What is this? What is all of this?
So that cable management though.
When you're building a computer, always take the time to cable manage properly. Make sure everything looks neat.
It's a fucking nightmare. It's an absolute... Look, dude, you have the other side of the PC where all the cables are supposed to be lashed onto. And, no. Why am I even getting upset at this point? You know what? I have a theory. I think that The Verge did this intentionally. It's like a psyop, okay? They literally got some poor bloke, sacrificed him for the internet to come together, all of the tech bros to actually inform people on how to do it properly. It has got to be it. I don't see any other explanation. Fuck me.
You know, your cables aren't going to affect your airflow inside your case.
And he actually used his quote-unquote tweezers slash what we know as zip ties, but he didn't do a very good job of actually cleaning up. And holy crap, look, there's a missing screw on his all-in-one water cooler pump. Why, you just had 3 and there's an extra one and you just threw it away just like your socket cover? And look at this. The tubing that goes into his all-in-one water cooler pump contacts the 1080 graphics card that he has. That's bad practice. That thing contains liquids that could potentially short out the system if it gets damaged by the heat generated by the graphics card. Now, it looks like he managed to find the right screw for the fans. Oh, good.
That's just awful.
And we got to the post screen.
No way.
And we got to the post screen.
They got to the
what's
post
next?
screen. Holy shit, it's a miracle.
I'm honestly surprised he got it to post at all.
That's
Well,
amazing.
you need a
That's
USB
the biggest
drive.
surprise of all. He got
It's the armband. Jesus, help him do it. Jesus took the boy off.
to the post screen. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause.
And we got to the post screen.
You know what he totally skipped too? He totally forgot to mention how to plug in the power switch, reset switch, front USBs, front headphone jack, and microphone jack. Totally skipped over front panel I/O.
I really want him to open up Computer Manager and see if it's pulling and if it's reading all 16 gigs because he still never fixed the memory.
And it's running pretty smoothly. I'm averaging 70 and 80 FPS.
You're averaging 70 and 80 FPS because you're in a plane flying around. The game really only needs to detail render your plane. Everything else is like half rendered because you're going so fast. So that's how they hide it with motion blur and all that stuff.
So right now I'm playing League of Legends. It's one of my favorite
bad
games. I'm actually
benchmark
playing
game.
against
The minimum requirement for League of Legends is literally a single core processor.
Bro, if it wasn't for the fact that they put out a literal mobile version, you could be able to play League on your phone. I would have liked to see Shadow of the Tomb Raider being used as a benchmark for this. Or even good old Crysis.
League of Legends could run on the shittiest of laptops. It was designed that way.
I'm averaging 120 FPS, and that's only because I've actually locked the game to that frame rate because
He's locked the game at 120 FPS. Why? Aren't we supposed to be benchmarking something? Why even bother?
The reason you have it capped at 120 frames per second is because you probably are not using a monitor that is 144 hertz. So anytime you get super high frame rates, you're probably experiencing ghosting and Yasuo showing up all over the place because your panel can't keep up with your system.
And of course now we also have a computer to test and benchmark games here at The Verge.
No. You did not get the right to benchmark games or test PC components if you build PCs like that, bro. You put your PSU the wrong way. You oversaturated in thermal paste. You mixed 2 thermal pastes together. You made a rat's nest for cable management. You even missed 1 screw on your all-in-one water cooler. Your radiator hoses contact the 1080 graphics card. Ain't nobody gonna respect your benchmarks after this, bro.
And that fucking SSD's about to pop.
2.1 million subscribers ain't got a freaking screwdriver. Doesn't know what the heck tweezers are versus a zip tie. Doesn't know how to mount an all-in-one water cooler. Doesn't know how to put a power supply into their case. thinks a power supply can short circuit by contacting the metal case.
All right, so long story short, this video sucks.
Presented by Capital One.
Capital One, you got the raw end of the deal.
Oh, you gotta get your logo scraped off this thing. Holy moly.
I don't know why you guys sponsored this video because it's terrible. It's full of misinformation.
This is easily the worst PC build I have ever seen.
A lot of people are gonna screw their computer up.
Very scary. Someone who built a PC for the first time might think this is a good video to follow, and their PC explode. They don't know the video bad because they disable the like and dislike and the comment.
And you can't even return the parts once you messed it up.
So much censorship. Feel like I'm back in China.
So all you have to do is take the brick and make sure that you align it with these little insulating pads so that the power supply doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system. It doesn't short circuit and come into contact with the rest of the system.
This dude must have been grilled beyond belief on the internet. I feel bad for you, bro. But literally, you did not need to release this video after having filmed the entire thing. Whomever was editing this on some editing PC, most likely a desktop, was looking at you going like, you're a fucking joke. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Hopefully you had a great laugh out of my misery. You cannot beat this dance. Anyways, I wish you all have a wonderful weekend. See you guys in the next one. Bye.